On December 17, 1944, in the opening hours of the Battle of the Bulge here in Malmedy, Belgium, the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion ran right into the German troops of the fearsome SS. After a brief firefight, the Americans, including Virginian James Coates, surrendered. What happened next would become known as the infamous Malmedy Massacre.
Just outside the ancient city of Malmedy, Belgium, at this bustling intersection, a stone and wooden roadside memorial greet you, stark in its simplicity, a quiet spot, a place for reflection. But 80 years ago, this site would become forever linked with one of the most violent acts in all of World War II. It was here in these fields next to the memorial that dozens of U.S. soldiers of the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion would be cut down shortly after surrendering. One of the soldiers, Private James Coates, hailed from Kilmarnock, Virginia. Private Coates was just 22 years old. His snow-covered body would not be discovered for weeks. The Malmedy Massacre was one of the darkest chapters of the war. I traveled to Malmedy to pay my respects to James and his fellow soldiers who fell here on December 17, 1944.
The road that they took happened to be where the Germans was coming through. So they surrendered. They were standing there with their hands up. At some point, somebody told them to fire, and that's when they shot them all down.
Mary Ann Coates Smith from Mechanicsville was just 2 years old when her father died. The president of the local chapter of the Battle of the Bulge Association fears people will forget what went on in these fields so long ago.
If we don't remember it now, it will go away because they're not teaching it in schools anymore.
During the last couple of years, I've become friends with Mary Ann, and when she learned that I was embarking on this journey, she allowed me to carry her father's dog tags back to Malmedy. These are the same dog tags he was wearing when he was killed 80 years ago.
It was an emotional moment for this journalist to bring Private Coates' dog tags back to the site where he lost his life. I was humbled Mary Ann allowed me to travel with them.
I don't know of anybody else I could have trusted and felt so comfortable with. And for the same purpose that he's going, for the same thing for his grandfather. So I just knew I could trust him.
At the end of World War II, Mary Ann's father was laid to rest in Virginia years after the guns fell silent.
He would be 102. He died when he was 22. He will always be handsome. He had 2 dimples, and I called him my blue-eyed, double-dimple daddy.
James Coates' name, along with the other American soldiers, are etched in stone at the memorial just a few yards from where they died. Their sacrifices, far from home, forever remembered and not lost to history.
But all the soldiers were wanting to fight for our country. And because of that, we live the way we do now.
For I Have a Story in Malmedy, Belgium, I'm Greg McQuade, CBS 6 News.